Hi, this is Victor of Robert Limited and welcome to Jingle and Ben and the Music Town Gang, Thin Places and Fat Dragons. Going to be reading the story to you shortly. As you probably know as a Jingle and Ben fan, Jingle and Ben live at 66 Clarion Street, Music Town, by the sea. Mr. and Mrs. Bell, when Jingle was born, their oldest daughter, thought it would be great fun to call her Jingle, as in Jingle Bell. Frankly, she's not found it too funny as she's gotten older, but her younger brother Ben Bell, thinks Jingle Bell is quite a funny name. Jingle and Ben Bell live next door to a lovely little girl called Little Mo. Well, she's called Little Mo at the moment. She lives with her nanny and granddad forever. Her bedroom is what they lovingly refer to as the hideout, for from there they can look into Mousy Boot Park and see all the way from one side of the park to the other. They can see the beautiful duck pond, which has got 17 ducks on it. Remember that number, it's very important. Mousy Boot Park also happens to have a cattery and a doggery. That's right, a cat's home and a dog's home attached to it, as well as their two favourite places to shop, Asper and Walsmart. It seems the park is always having new equipment put inside of it. Their current favourite is the slide, or as they say in Scotland, the chute. For one day, they discovered something very interesting halfway down, as well as on the top. The clock in Mousy Boot Park is fixed permanently at 1 o'clock. And the little boy called Michael, who always rides around the park on his bike, well, they kind of think he might live inside the clock tower. He never seems to go home. The latest addition is a climbing frame shaped like a spaceship. And rumours have it that there's going to be a pirate ship put in the park as well. But all of that is for another day and for some other stories. Today I want to tell you about how they met the last dragon. Jingle and her younger brother Ben and Little Mo from next door are all going to Mousy Boot Park. Ben has got his pocket money and he's going to buy ice cream from them all. What a surprise though when they get there. There's an old balloon man at the park today and he's selling his last 3 balloons for the exact amount of money that Ben has in his pocket. "Oh, I'll have all of those, please," said Ben. After all, who needs ice cream when we can all have our very own balloon? Meanwhile, Little Mo had run ahead of Jingle and Ben to the slide and had already got Boot the mouse in her own little hands. She kissed him on his small dry nose and put him back to bed in his big old leather boot at the top of the tower. It was a sunny but noisy day. The dogs from the doggery were barking nervously, and the cats from the cattery, well, they were shrieking like bagpipes. At the top of the slide, the children decided to make a train with Little Mo in front, Jingle at the back, and Ben squished in the middle. Off they go! Way! Suddenly, Boot the mouse leapt from the open door of the tower and landed right in Little Mo's lap. Just then, with a great flash of light and to the sound of wailing bagpipes, boom! Boot grew bigger and bigger until they all tumbled off the bottom of the slide and onto the now very purple grass. While Ben was scratching his head, Jingle asked, "Where are we?" And looking at Boot said, "What on earth happened to you, Boot?" As for Little Mo, well, Little Mo just shrieked loudly. "Oh, goody," she said. "How wonderful! Purple grass and carrot trees of all things." "Yes, but where are my balloons?" said Ben. "Where are they?" Just then Boot interjected, "Welcome to the land of purple. Help yourself to carrots and follow me because we're off to find a dragon. Oh, and Ben, your balloons are over there." "Aye, we're all here, Ben, you wee ninny," said Porridge the cat. Miraculously, it seems the 3 balloons had changed into Porridge the cat, Nervous the dog, and Benny the bunny, who looked rather funny. "I'm here to open doors for ye," said Porridge the cat. "And I'm here to get you in," said Boot. "And I wish I wasn't here at all," quivered Nervous the dog. "It's all very dangerous. It's silly to be here, really. Oh dear, oh dear." "Ha ha! Don't mind Nervous," said Benny the bunny. "He's got a nose for sniffing out trouble, you see. He's here to warn us of any danger. Well, as for me, I'm here to protect you, especially from pirates, and also to make sure that we all leave on time. That's very important. It wasn't long before they soon arrived at an old wooden drawbridge, and before them loomed a big broken down old castle, and from the only tower left standing they could hear the sound of an awful and mournful wailing. Oh, poor me! Poor me! I'm so very lonely! I'm very lonely! It seemed they had found the dragon, and he was crying most pitifully. Oh, it's not good! Oh, it's not good at all! I'm so alone! Oh, poor me! Poor me! I'm so very, very lonely! At the top of the stairs and looming over them was a large green dragon covered in orange spots and wearing an old brown saddle on its back. Suddenly Benny touched little Mo with one of his ears, and Mo's little walker wings that her nanny used to keep her from running into the road, well, they began to flap and lift her off the ground, and with just a few flaps of her wings, Mo was soon holding the big snout of the dragon and staring lovingly into his old sad eyes. "Lonely," she said, for that was obviously his name. "Lonely, I will be your friend, and I shall call you Mighty," said the dragon, for that was obviously what she was. "And you shall ride on my back." Suddenly Nervous said, "I smell trouble." "Oh dear!" And sure enough, over the hill, a tribe of angry purple pirates, all armed with pitchforks and fire, were coming to get them. "It's time to go," said Benny the Bunny. "It's time to go." Mo sat in the saddle on the back of Lonely the Dragon, with Ben squished in between Mo and Jingle, whilst Boot the Mouse, Benny, Nervous and Porridge all hung like a long line of balloons whilst holding on to the dragon's tail. They arrived at the stone archway on the far edge of the castle's grounds, and before they could speak, Porridge quickly played his pipes and the ground opened up beneath them. Lonely the Dragon called after them as they slipped down the hole. "Just call out my name, Mighty Mo! Just call out my name and I'll be there!" They landed with a bump at the bottom of the slide in Mousy Boot Park. Boot, the little mouse, squeaked 3 times and scurried away, and Ben noticed that the balloons on the ground had all popped. Meanwhile the dogs in the doggery barked in relief, and the cats in the cattery all squealed with delight. No one said a word until Jingle shouted, "To the lookout!" Then they all went back to Mighty Mo's bedroom, which overlooked Mousy Boot Park. "What are you doing back so soon?" asked Mo's granddad as they burst through the door. "You've only just got out." In the lookout, they all agreed that the hot sun and the slippery slide had caused them to bump their heads together and imagine the whole thing. That is, until Mo flapped her little wings and flew up to the top shelf to get the chocolate milk her nanny had left there the night before. "Gulp," said Ben. "Gulp indeed," said Jingle. "Gulp, gulp, and yummy," said Mighty Mo after she chugged down the chocolate milk and rubbed her fat little tummy. It seemed that everything was true. Well, I do hope you like this story, Thin Places and Fat Dragons with Jingle and Ben and the Music Town Gang. Of course, it's written by Professor Raimundo Vincente Faraday and the recluse cat burger woman, Victoria Rowflower. If you want either of these authors to come and visit your school or your library, or wherever you'd like them to tell their tall tales, do contact victorrobert.limited, that's victorrobert.limited. Oh, and be sure to pre-order the next book in the series. It's called How Not to Poop All Day. You're gonna love it.